question was, is South Africa engaging sufficiently with the rest of the continent? I think I give you two examples of what I think is an example of positive engagement. The first is in an overtly political field, namely the Africa Union. I think the promotion of and the election of Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma to the leadership of the Africa Union as a result of a concerted policy decision by South Africa to engage for the first time in the process of seeking leadership on the continent was hugely significant and very, very important, and marked a departure from previous practice, which was to be somewhat self-effacing, whilst at the same time doing a great deal of heavy lifting on the ground. And Sudan, Cote d'Ivoire, Burundi are classic examples of heavy lifting on the ground. But in terms of giving the political leadership that I think South Africa has the potential to contribute to the Africa Union, Dr. Dlamini-Zuma is an important contributor to that. The second area of engagement, which I think is hugely significant, because it addresses a deficit that exists more in South Africa, in fact, than anywhere else on the continent, is the establishment in Muizenberg, in the Western Cape, of the African Institute of Advanced Mathematical Science, AIMS. Now you will say, what the hell has that got to do with anything? It is actually absolutely critical to the development of the continent. We will be held back consistently as a continent if we don't invest in science, technology, and innovation. There are massive deficits across the continent in that regard. Within South Africa, in education and science, the educational outcomes of the South African education system are the worst in the world after Yemen. No other country has a worse track record of producing scientists and mathematicians than South Africa, apart from Yemen. Now that says something when you look at the level of your investment in education. Something is going wrong. And what we have to do, if we are concerned about South Africa, Africa as a whole, and global competitiveness, is to recognize that you can only achieve what we've got to achieve if you have an effective partnership between the private sector, between corporates, between the public sector, education and policy, and if civil society, parents, traditional leaders, religious leaders are backing up that process. So if ever there was an example of where South Africa needs to learn as well as learn from, as well as contribute to the rest of the continent by engaging with it, education in science, technology, and innovation is a classic.